Haya, wadau.
We're rolling, as I say.
Yeah, we are rolling. Hi everyone. Welcome to Tiny Desk. Tiny Desk is actually a fun business. Welcome to a tiny reading of Eastern Butterfly and the Leaves of May. So I'm Sandra, Nekh, and I'm the author of Eastern Butterfly, among other books. And this is
Muthoni, Maina, the author of the Leaves of May. Thank you for asking. This Nekh.
welcome. Okay, so maybe we can begin by doing a reading, so that just jump into it, maybe so that we can have a bit of a view. Now, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come up with one word, yeah, as we read the back matter for the book and author, and then you're going to give us that word, and then we're going to read through the books and see what part of the book fits that word best, in terms of to see how we can be able to dive into the book from a reading perspective. Sawa. Okay, so Muthoni, you want to start?
Back matter. Oh, sorry, I'm so busy doing that. Let someone else start doing
Okay, so let me read for you back matter for my book, for those who've not read Eastern Butterfly. So the Etty of little known Eastern African monarchy, Kizigueti, are proud to possess a remarkable self-contained culture. They are an independent nation developed from the split of 18th century kingdom Kizigueti, the butterfly, to become Kizigueti in the east and Mamor in the west. A jaded old-timer American journalist, Aaron Pele Carter, travels to Kizigueti searching for a career-defining story. The region is vibrant and alive, courtesy of the annual harvest festival, and a royal wedding. Mr. Carter relishes the idea of documenting a postmodern monarchical wedding ceremony, though his true interests lie in the butterfly's aging patriarchal sovereigns, Bikha Saram of Kizigueti and Aba Naifa of Mamor, and their heirs, the Eastern Princess, the Sifah, Latea Saram, and the Western Prince, the Bukizo Kasim Naifa. Beyond the butterfly's brilliance in propelling the African narrative, there lay secrets, deviations that could change the fate of the whole region.
Okay. The Leaves of May. So actually this 3 women, 3 generations inexorably linked, and the man at the center of it all. My brother told me I had to use the word Anyway, May, seeking to reunite with her father after her recent engagement, May reaches out to her grandmother. But as she begins to confront her past, her future begins changing shape around her. Lily, despite others labeling her as a divorcee and a single mother, she strides forward, believing there is life after divorce, but she knows that she is simply a woman and a mother to her daughter. Seche, after many attempts to forget her painful history, even in her old age, the memories still echo in her thoughts. After years passed, a secret she has been keeping begins to demand her attention. Her son can never find out the truth. Never.
So I'll read a little bit before we play the reading game. So I'll read my prologue. Yeah. Prologue. There were 3 of them, 3 beautiful souls, little dark-skinned beauties that were grabbing from the same bowl of food, reaching in with their dirty hands for more than I valued in all my life: sustenance. The only thing that we need to survive. Even at that moment, I had ample of it in my bag, lay a Sim Sim delight with honey and nuts. Guilt and pity burn a hole through the heart so covered in my soul as I watch them eat, seemingly unaware of my presence there and what it means. This means that this moment will be documented through history over time. If they grow to be as tall as their mothers and fathers or debut installations of the idea of Abraham, they will still remember this day. I could almost see the three of them talking about that moment years later, many years to come, maybe even just hours from this moment or the next day. I could see them wonder what the occasion was and how they got to be handed this bounty. I could hear them talk about the taste that they felt, these eternal swirls of flavors new to them. I remember seeing spices earlier today. I could swear these darlings have never had a taste like this before. It warms my heart as my right index finger moves, my camera rattles off. A pair of dark orbs turn to me. Oh my God, it sees me. I have never been one for little humans, but at this moment I want to know more. Is it a boy or a girl? From the softness of the face or the loudness of the eyes, I guess it's a she. I suddenly feel sadness wash over me. This girl will be beautiful. She has rare skin and the most honest eyes, as though she knows not wrong. Her little face looks up at me, baffled by my presence there, and the strange device I hold in my hand. I am sure she has never had a picture taken before. I will do it fast. I claim this victory. I roll my gaze lower, needing more, but another has her shielded from my prying eyes, and a tree. There is a tree with brilliant green leaves blocking my view. I turn around an axis, guided by their position, and see two more faces come to me. I have to concentrate on my girl. I want to see more of her, tell more of her story. Tartars claim her form. They confirm my suspicion and claim her heart. I want to see her feet, maybe deduce the strength in them. Can she walk this path set for her? Can she walk kilometers with those tiny feet? I think through the thought as I strain to see her feet, but another blocks my view. My eyes fall on her middle, folded away, hidden away by the layers of crowds. In a few years, she will be a woman, a lovely thing with a room to be married off. Soon, someone will claim her, pay ample bride price, and have her all to themselves. Then they will want her, an heir in their womb, an heir or two, twins even. Then her whole world will change. At this moment, I see why I need to live. I have enough. I have all I need to tell my story. I take one last photograph of the threesome for context and turn away. My host should be wondering where I am. He should be sensing my disappearance and wondering who else within this dark rock has me gobbling their truth. My host has secrets, deep, dark secrets. I see them at the edges of his eyes when he purports to be happy. He still cannot hide the true state of his emotional disposition. I make my way through the merry lot where the party rages on, the villagers and royals seamlessly bound, for blood ties them together. For these people, blood boils more real than any other thing they know. At this moment, there is neither royal nor peasant. There is only blood. Ancestral blood marks a people's position in the books of history. I have studied these people, for they tickle my interest. I know them well. This is why I am here, a shy age away from home. I leave my loft on the crown of the Montmartre neighborhood to play guest to a strange man on the opposite side of the globe, to have access to the butterfly. My daughter is getting married. I remember my host saying, the palatial keep, a boastful jewel as it may be, is not to be her home for eternity. This, he pointed to the rocky hills of Huri, towards the north of Zigweti, the eastern half of the butterfly. This is her home. but not for too long. I could see it as well as a golden sunrise. The man was still looking for an heir. I wondered, what man suffices enough to marry the Sifa, the king's daughter? My name is Aaron Carter, and I'm an American journalist stationed at the London Post of a sufficiently known newspaper, a dying breed of soulless men charged with the duty of telling truth. Most people call me Helen. I am here to tell the story of the king, a monarch who rules over the eastern wing of the butterfly secret.
So my book is told from the point of view of three characters, so we might have to jump back and forth, but we'll just start with me. Since name. So can we have page 17. I'm sure this one. This is my first edition, so it's not the same.
So I started. It was a beautiful day.
Yes, please.
It was a beautiful day, a perfect day for being honest. The kind of a day that rewards you for surviving a week in the floating city of Denmark. The sky was the perfect shade of blue, with no clouds to hide the sun, and the breeze even out the heat. The combination was heaven. My red dress had things strapped on the back, and the front leaving my skin bare to check the cooling breeze. The air had a rare crispness from the previous night's storm. The rain had cleared, if only temporarily, the notorious city smoke.
The East Mall was one of the oldest malls in Muthoni, which was at the heart of the diplomatic district. It was also the area where the IDO, National Development Organization, had its regional headquarters. The location meant that the mall attracted diplomats, expatriates, affluents, the Koreans, and IDO staffs. My father worked there when it first opened in the late 90s. It was the biggest mall in the country at the time. Now I was back there for another parental affair, that of my future image. In a way, it seems a fitting place to meet Amani's parents, because it was the setting of one of the pleasant memories I had of my father. Back then, they had planted numerous fig trees. Now they have grown into majestic towers covering the entire property with their signature red African tulips, the golden trees. The breeze shook off the falling petals and leaves.
We were in Kabul Cafe, the oldest coffee brand and the most popular coffee restaurant chain in Lahore. There seemed to be one in every mall. The aroma of roasted coffee, the sound of beans grinding, the screaming and the frothing of the milk, and the distant sound of cups and plates being laid on the tables made music that made the beauty of the day a sense of stillness, as if I were examining a picture caption. Conversations were covered. There was a clear glass between us and the people who were sitting outside. We could see the barista grinding beans and putting powder in the espresso machine. A waitress leaned on the table waiting for her order to finish. What are you thinking about? A man in the asking from the table, from across the table. My grandmother. I answered in quiet concern. Have you spoken to us since you visited? The man inquired. I shook my head. No, I've been trying to call her since yesterday. I haven't been able to reach her. A strange tightness in my gut is truly ignoring me.
Wow, that's really well read. Thank you. So we go to Lily. I think it is a giant leaf.
Go is coffee.
Yeah, we'll get there. So giant leaf.
Who wants coffee? It's really. Napea dufia. No sugar.
this is good. Oh,
Oh yeah, so page 72. This is also dialogue. So let's start with I wanted to talk to you, Henry. Is that? Yeah. And then we go all the way to Safari hats and sunglasses. And yours is Davies. Yeah, today I can even give you the word. Don't stress. Yours is Davies to Alkebulan. Okay, so let's go.
I wanted to talk to you. An Indian man came closer so that she could be heard in the ear of the festive music. You know what John Davis? You know John Davis has been working for the IDO for 2 years. He gets chat to the man in the crowd. There are many IDO members around him. John worked for him. He then interacted with the 400 IDO staff. Everyone knew John Davis. He was the one who rushed to help millions of members and helped them in all sorts of crises, disasters and catastrophes that occurred in the country. Whenever disaster strikes, we are sure to find him. He's also the one the camera will focus on and the one the reporter gets support from in these disasters. His eyes will be wary, telling the media that he has seen it all before and he will keep seeing it again and again. But he stands under the hot African sun in his safari hat and sunglasses.
Oh, excuse me.
Davis just came back from climbing Mount Charles, Mount Muthoni with his friends. He and I were having lunch yesterday and he told me how hard it is for him and his friends to get a good cup of coffee in the Nakora. So I thought that this would be an opportunity to expand my family's coffee business. I'd like us to do more than just bread. That's when I realized that we were talking to Sam as in the Sainsbury old company. His father, Chandra Singh, had bought Greenfield Coffee in the States after independence. Henry was listening in him. It's a great idea, but you should just target expressions because people like Al-Bulan don't drink coffee. Henry countered. Most of Bulan's varieties of real coffee, only the local taste and smell. You can offer them an export quality Mr. Singh explained. Alexis Baba is interested in investing in a restaurant. I had you in mind for your connections. Henry was quiet. Everyone knew that Alexis was one of the most shrewd women in Alkebulan.
Think about it. No. That's it. Then we can go to. Oh, sorry, and I also forgot to say this is set in. So when we read May, it was set in present day. So when I wrote this book, I was writing it in 2022, so I didn't want to date it. So whatever present day is present day. But this was May 8, 1987. So, and the first Java Coffee House was opened in 1999 because an American expatriate wanted to have a coffee. Yeah. So that's actually, we were like, you can't have a coffee shop in the 90s in Nairobi because nobody drinks coffee. That's actually based on history. Then we go to Seche, the grandmother character. Oh, I have to use this. Sorry. So 76. Yeah, okay, so page 80. Yeah, my father, and then just coffee. So my father and then coffee.
My father, Wahome Mwati, was a baby during the events of the First Exodus War, and his father had been killed in one when the ringing was forced out of the land by the settlers. We grow what we do not eat, and we eat what we do not grow. We liked good hospitals to test our wheat. We would sit around the fire, all five of us listening intently. My brothers and I exchanged looks, trying to see who had the answers. Father smiled and continued, "We do not grow what we eat, and we eat what we do not grow. We plant the trees that bear the fruits, they are for others to enjoy and bitter to taste." Cargo, all three of us responded in unison. We called coffee cargo because it was the name of all the coffee workers. It was the name all the coffee workers called it. We were told that there was an eccentric coffee farmer who liked yelling at his workers while they were lifting the coffee sacks. Cargo became cargo. Since then, it has become the word for coffee.
So what I do with this book is I move, like coffee is a very important device in the storytelling of this book because to one generation it was their livelihood that they were removed from their land so that this cash crop that they cannot eat, they are growing. And then in another generation where they work for the ideal, where the expatriates are given like they will never ask what were ground. They will always interview John Davis. So like now there are floods in Nairobi, there are floods in Nairobi, oh crime, whatever, you know what I mean? So in the 90s, that was like that top-down communication that happened, and it was so interesting when I was doing research, and I found out that like I said, Java was opened in 1999 when I was a kid, and that was because there was one American expat, because Americans are obsessed with coffee. Yeah, and that's how it started. But people are like, Kenyans don't drink coffee. And now it's like, maize, like in every mall. Like, you know, for us it's not a big deal, but for people back in the day. But then now in such a generation, farmers weren't even allowed to grow coffee and were also discouraged from drinking coffee. So like from our grandparents, like food can be a device to tell a story. And that's what I do, and among other things. You have to read the book, but Kabu is one of the devices. And people have Ede and John, they both have American journalists in the books. Yeah.